Oh! Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at? They're right here on this episode of the Top 5 series, starring me, yours truly, Mr. Cinema Junkie. Purple Book Fairy sent me a comment saying I should do a top 5 dogs of the movies. And throughout my lifetime, I've seen a lot of dogs in a lot of movies. But hey, she thought enough to suggest something. I think enough to respond to that. So here is my top 5 list of top 5 dogs in the movies. Don't forget the honorable mention. This list is going to be kind of short, to the point. I'm not going to elaborate too much on the dogs that I'm listing here. At least I don't think I am. Who knows how this might go. But anyways, number 5 on my list is Chips, the collie from the Dawn of the Dead remake. Although it wasn't a prominent character or throughout, a prominent character throughout the beginning of the movie, it became a very important part of the movie towards the middle. It took the survival gear to the guy in the gun shop. The girl kind of adopted it because she had just lost her dad, so she was adopting the dog, kind of got really attached to him. And that's what kind of bridged the gap between the mall and the gun shop, was the collie. I was able to go over there, take a radio over to the owner, and I thought it was a pretty cool dog. I'm not much into collies. I'm more of a short-haired breed dog man myself, pit bulls, boxers, things like that. But yeah, I'm starting off number 5 with Chips, the collie from Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Number 4 is Sam, the German Shepherd from I Am Legend. Now, right from the word go, you see that Sam, which is short for Samantha, is a very important part of Will Smith's character's existence. It's a protector, a companion, probably the one thing that keeps him from going insane because there's nobody else around for him to talk to. He communicates with the dog as if it were a person, scolds her when she does bad. When she doesn't eat her food, he talks to her like a child. And this is a man who's lost his wife and kids, so that dog basically became his family. Anyone who has a dog knows the bond between yourself and that dog. That dog becomes not just a pet. It doesn't become part of the furniture, part of the landscape, part of the scenery in your house. It becomes part of your life. So knowing that, and then seeing the bond between Will Smith's character, which I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but seeing the bond between him and this dog, and knowing that the dog is there for him, as a protector and a companion, really sets the mood for the movie and the things they find themselves going through, and the things that the situations you find them in. You don't just care about the human character; you care about the dog as well, if not more. Some people actually cared more about the demise of the dog than Will Smith. Go figure that one. And it made you feel when what ultimately happens to her in the movie kind of tugs at the heartstrings. So that's my pick for number 4. Sam, the German Shepherd from I Am Legend. Number 3. Speaking of protective dogs and bonds and a closeness with your pet and a protector, like I was saying. Number 3, I picked Nanook, the Alaskan Husky from The Lost Boys. Nanook not only acts as a warning that this guy's brother has turned into a vampire by growling and trying to keep him at bay, like, you better back up, it's going to be me and you if you try and go at him. But also at one scene, a vampire is attacking, and Nanook jumps through the door and attacks and protects, which is the function of most dogs. They are protectors. No matter how big or small a dog is, if it feels that its family is in trouble, more times than not, it will try to throw itself in harm's way for you. And that comes through in this very, very well. Also, it's a beautiful dog. Like I said, I'm not much into very hairy dogs, but it is a beautiful dog. The Alaskan Huskies have these eyes that are just piercing. So, yeah, it was definitely a good example of a beautiful breed of dog. Number 2. The number 2 slot goes to the St. Bernard Cujo from the movie of the same name. Why did I give this to Cujo? Well, I'll tell you. When you think of horror movies and you think of dogs that grip you with terror, you think of what? German Shepherds? Or not German Shepherds, I'm sorry, Doberman Pinschers. Doberman Pinschers have been featured in things like Dracula's Dog. That's a real movie. I'm not kidding. They have this sleek, scary look to them. Pit bulls look vicious. Rottweilers look vicious. A St. Bernard is a big, dopey, heavy dog. Looks like it's sleeping even when it's awake. So what did they do? They took this dog and they turned it into the main terror in this movie, the main focus of this horror. It's a rabid dog. It gets bitten on the nose, I believe, by a bat. And keeps a woman and her son hostage in their car. Won't let them out, you know. So it kind of relays the message that what we take in to be kind of friendly and cozy can in a minute just turn into our worst nightmare. Not only that, but ever since that movie came out, that name, Cujo, has been synonymous with just about any bad dog. You go to, pet a little Chihuahua and it snaps at you. Hey, easy, Cujo. It became synonymous with just a bad dog in general. So it's kind of an honor in a way when you think about it. It's kind of like if they use your name to describe the boogeyman, better go to sleep, Derek's going to get you. I would find that as an honor. Somebody used my name as as some scary story somewhere down the line. We'll see what happens. But number 2 is Cujo the St. Bernard from Cujo. And the number 1 spot, I had to really mull this one over for a while. And considering that I have 4 movies here that are either horror movies or on the cusp of horror movies, I went a totally different direction and went with a buddy cop movie. And the dog I picked here is Hooch from the movie Turner and Hooch. I believe his real name is Beasley, but he don't call me no more, so I can't really confirm that. But anyways, yeah, Hooch. He is a French Mastiff. Huge dog. First time you look at it, you can't really make out what he is. He's just a huge dog, right? But he's a French Mastiff, and I don't speak French. I don't pretend to speak French. But I believe the French name is Dog, but it's Dogue, so Dog de Bordeaux. I'm telling you, there's no way I would ever be able to speak French. My jaw locks up when I try to pronounce certain and stuff like that. I drool all over myself. But anyways, in the movie, Hooch is believed to be the only witness to a murder, his owner's murder, and they say that dogs can react around certain people who have done things. Like if you were to see the person who murdered his owner, he would react a certain way, so they have to keep him as a witness. And they protect him by giving him to Tom Hanks, who plays the cop, of course. And this dog just turns his life upside down, tears up his house, chews up his shoes, drools all over his car, eats his car. But then as time goes on, you see that no matter how big or bad or misbehaved a dog is, you will make that bond with them. You will find some common ground. This movie kind of talks to me in a way because I have that with one of my dogs. When I first got him, he's kind of a little unruly, kind of did his own thing. But as time has gone on, he's a big baby, and I kind of realize that. And we're cool, you know. So I kind of see where that movie came from. I can kind of sympathize with that movie a little bit. I guess sympathize. I don't even think that's the right word. Anyways, yes, in the movie, Hooch kind of protects. I believe he goes down in the line of protecting Turner, uh, which breaks Turner's heart, and you kind of feel that. And but it kind of ends on an up note because he spawned a baby, and there's a little baby Hooch, and it's the cutest dog ever. But he's breaking down the rules to him just like he did to Hooch when he first got to the house. You know, you don't go here, you don't do this, you don't touch this. And it ends with him saying, "This is not your room," and he's looking at him confused, like Hooch did. So that was a cool movie for its time. Then they tried to leech off of it with like Nine, which I didn't think was that great. A lot of cop buddy movies with dogs in it didn't really do the number like Turner and Hooch did. So that's my number one pick for dogs in the movies. The French Mastiff Beasley, who played Hooch in Turner and Hooch. And now for my honorable mention. Wow, I had a whole long list. But you know what? Instead of focusing on one dog, let's focus on a group of dogs. One group of dogs. Can anybody guess it? Honorable mention goes to the Bumpus Hounds from A Christmas Story. How could you not love the Bumpus Hounds? They were the biggest antagonist to the father that there ever was. You know, never mind the neighbors, never mind the hillbilly neighbors themselves. You never saw them in the movie. But the Bumpus Hounds would corner him as he got out of the car. They ate his turkey. As cruel as it sounds, one of the funniest parts was when he slams the door and you see one of the dog's ears like, and it's moving up and down in the door. That's mean, but it was funny. Then the sequel, My Summer Story, came out, and they still featured the Bumpus Hounds, but not as great, not as prominent, but they were still very entertaining, especially when they ran out of the house and there was no porch there, and they all landed one after another in the mud. But yeah, that's my honorable mention, the Bumpus Hounds from A Christmas Story. No, I don't have the names for each one because there's a huge group of them. But imagine having a group that big of hounds, bloodhounds, howling, yelping, and barking next door to you all day and night, and then think of the hell that father was going through. There you have it. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I especially hope Purple Book Fairy enjoyed this as well. Tune in next time when I'll have a new top 5 for the top 5 series starring your friend, Mr. Cinema Junkie. Thank you, and thanks for watching.